Hey everyone, so today I am doing my things I've been watching lately for mid-June to mid-July. So I started doing this kind of video last month and I want to keep it going as a series on my channel where I talk about the movies and TV shows I've been watching in my time and just like have like small review, like mini reviews and my feelings about them. So I'm going to talk about some movies that I've been watching. There was a couple I went to see in the cinema, and that was Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdoms, is that what it's called? The second one anyway. And I actually really enjoyed it. I saw a lot of people being like pretty down on this film, but like yeah, it's a load of shite, but it's very entertaining. As like the first one was really, fourth? Whatever. The first one of the new trilogy was really entertaining, so I was actually really keen to go see this because I just found the first film really fun, and then this one was really good as well. Like yes, you have to obviously you have to suspend your belief because it's Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, just blah, 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 blah. Obviously you have to suspend your belief because it's like dinosaurs come back to life, but this film you really had to suspend your belief because there was a lot of genetic messing around in it and it was just a bit crazy. And yeah, but the way this film ended, I'm really excited for the next one because I feel like everything's just gone. So yeah. I also went to see Deadpool 2, which was so much better than the first film. Like, I liked the first film when I went to see it in the cinema, but it got old quite fast. It wasn't one that I felt like I could rewatch, if you know what I mean. Like, I watched it like once or twice after that when it was on Sky Movies with my dad. And it just kind of bored me the third and fourth times around, kind of, really. But yeah, this film, like, it took what I loved about the first film and made it even better and even bigger, and it was just so hilarious but also soul destroying at points. Like, I was absolutely gutted after the first 10 minutes. Like, it was like watching Up for the first time again. I did not expect what happened to happen, and I wish I'd looked it up prior to it because, like, I've spoken about this before, but I get really, I don't know if I have spoken about this on my channel, but I get really like very upset by deaths, so I have to go look things up, because otherwise I'll probably have like a major crying attack, which I don't really want to have in a cinema. But yeah, I managed to hold myself back for this, but it really did quite affect me. But yeah, I loved the character development of Wade. I loved seeing Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend Yukio. Yukio is the cutest thing ever. She's just like, hi Wade! Oh, I loved her so much. But yeah, the characters in this were just so much better than the first one. Like, I don't even know what to say really. And then the final film I went to see in the cinema was Ocean's 8, which I was really excited for because I've grown up watching the Ocean's 11 films because my mum loves them. Like, I watched Ocean's 11 as like a 10-year-old or whatever, and then we went to see them in the cinema after that when they were coming out, Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13. So I love the heists of them. I love like the humour in it. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Ocean's 8. I saw a lot of criticism about how the heist wasn't big enough because it was women and blah blah blah, but I'm just like, it was a pretty big heist. Like, attacking the Met is just crazy big. But yeah, I really loved Rihanna's character. She was so good. I loved Sandra Bullock. She was sensational as a lead. And Anne Hathaway, oh my god, I love Anne Hathaway so much. She was so sensational in this film. And I loved that her character just wanted to be friends with everyone. Like, that's so sweet. So right at the beginning, there's quite a big like thing that I wasn't expecting, and that's Danny Ocean's dead. And I really don't think that's real. Like, no way in hell Danny Ocean is dead. Like, not the Danny Ocean I know. And then I watched a couple of films I downloaded. So I'll start with Every Day, which is an adaptation of David Levithan's novel by the same name, which is about a being that is a new person every day. Like, it invades a person's brain for that day, and then they go away and that person goes back to how they were. It's a really interesting thing, and I don't know if I'd like the novel because I've heard, like, it was written a few years ago and I've heard there's quite some like problematic wording in the novel, and like the love interest is a big shithead in the novel, but I really liked the film. It was quite interesting. I don't know if I'd watch it again, because I think it's one of those ones where it's like, you've watched it, you don't need to watch it again. Like, your stories, you know the story now, you don't need to, like... It was okay. It was interesting to see the character of A invading different bodies and learning more about themselves. It's interesting to see the love interest learning more about herself. And it was just like, as a concept, it was really bizarre, but in a good way, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. But yeah. And then I watched the second Pacific Rim film, which was Pacific Rim Uprising, as that was called, which I really enjoyed. I loved... What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Finn. John Boyega. I really enjoyed John Boyega in this film. I thought he was a really interesting character. And again, it's kind of like the Jurassic World thing. It's kind of a pile of shite, but really entertaining. The one thing though is, because I downloaded it, I didn't have any subtitles for the bits that were in Chinese. So I was just sitting there watching it, thinking it was just a part of the film that there wasn't subtitles, and you were just supposed, because it's Charlie Day's character, his boss is Chinese, and I thought you were supposed to be like Charlie Day not knowing what she's saying, but actually it's just me being an idiot because there was supposed to be subtitles. But I didn't take anything away from it, because I kind of like, from the way it's shot and from how well acted the Chinese character was, she could kind of I could kind of grasp what she was saying regardless. And then I watched 2 films on Netflix. One of those was Alex Strangelove, which is about a boy who kind of realises that he is gay. And whilst it was a fun film to watch, there was a character in it who was like his best friend, and really like the language he used was so upsetting. Like, it was just offensive for offensive's sake, and it really put me off. I also went into this film thinking it was about a bi boy, and it wasn't. It was about a gay boy, and like, that's fine, but the way it was advertised was a bit... And then I watched Set It Up, which I absolutely loved. That is such a good film. Go watch it if you have Netflix, or if you're just whatever, if you have access to something where you can watch it, because oh my god, it was so good. Like, I've loved Lucy Liu since I was a kid, because my mum took me to see the second Charlie's Angels film without seeing the first one, and I think that was like the first, was it a 15 when it came out here? The first 15 I ever went to see, and I think I might have been underage, but yeah. And I just, like, I've adored her in everything she's done. She's so good in Elementary. Oh, I just love Lucy Liu. And seeing her in a rom-com was like so different for what I'm used to from her, and she was so good. Oh, I love Lucy Liu. And I also love Zoe Deutsch. I mean, I love women. But yeah, Zoe Deutsch, oh, she's so cute in this film. She's like so bouncy and energetic and creative. And the guy she's opposite is quite like, I liked him as well. And it's also got Ariana Grande's fiance in it, who I didn't even realise until like a week ago. Like, it kind of reminded me of the book The Hating Game, because Zoe Deutsch is very like artistic and just goes with the flow kind of person, and the guy she's opposite, whose name I cannot remember, he's very like straight and to the point, wears suits to work, blah blah blah. Like, it reminded me of that, except there wasn't the like hate at the beginning. It's kind of just like friends to lovers kind of thing. So that's all the films I watched this month. For TV shows, I've been watching Love Island every night, which is just, it hurts me that I watch this show because it's a load of shite and I can't stop watching it. I've been watching Love Island every night, which is like 9 to 10, and it kind of takes away my watch time of other things, so it's mainly been Love Island I've been watching, really. Because I come home and I have stuff to do after I finish work, and I just feel like I'm busy all the time these days, and I don't like it. Is this what being an adult is? But when I go to the gym, which hasn't been regularly recently because I've been ill, I've been watching a show called Champions, and I finished watching that recently. It's on Netflix. It's really funny. It's about a guy who owns a gym with his brother, and his ex-girlfriend from when he was 18, who had a child with him, has come back into his life and said, I can't look after the child anymore, you're gonna have to have him. And the boy is, like, she's Indian, the guys are white, so his child is mixed race white Indian. And it's really interesting because, like, there's a lot of, the kid's gay as well, and he's so good. I love him, he's so funny. He talks a lot about, like, racial stuff, about gay stuff with his dad and his uncle, and talking about, like, modern day stuff that's just, like, I love. It kind of reminded me a bit of One Day at a Time, but sadly it's been cancelled, so only one season. I'm very sad about this because I actually really enjoyed it. And then I watched Queer Eye season 2, which I absolutely adored. I felt like the people who were on it this season were so much, like, I just felt more of a connection to them than the first season. I felt like I really loved this season, and I feel like season 3 is going to be even better. I loved the Fab Five. I really loved the episode with Skylar, the trans guy. He was lovely. I loved the episode with Miss Tammy. She was so sweet. And then I started watching The Bold Type season 2, which is just not as good as season 1. I still like it. I'm not up to date. I think I'm about 3 episodes behind at this point. I really loved season 1, and this season's kind of just meh. I really hope it gets better, but I don't have high hopes. And then the final thing I've been watching is I started watching Black Sails on Amazon Prime, which is like this pirate show about the pirates that are spoken about in Treasure Island, with also some real life pirates. And I really like the show. Like, it's so good. It's one of those shows that is so addictive. Like, I started off being like, this is okay, and then I started, like, it just grew on me and grew on me, and there's characters in it that I absolutely love. There's characters I hate, there's characters I love to hate, there's characters I don't even know how I feel about them, because one minute they're great and one minute they're arseholes. And yeah, the one character I absolutely adore, though, is Billy Bones. He's my bae. I love him. But yeah, like, I'm in midway through season 2 at the moment. I haven't watched it in a couple days, well, a couple weeks actually, probably. But yeah, it's a really interesting show because it's just like a lot of characters just have very fluid sexualities and stuff, and there's no like big hoo-ha about it. They just are, and I really like that about it. Yeah, there's some like really dodgy stuff in it, like, of course, like, it's set in the 1700s, so of course people's attitudes towards sex workers isn't going to be great. People's attitudes towards just women in general aren't great, but obviously it's historical, so you know that going into it. But I really love the way sexuality is treated in it. There is some like slavery stuff in it, so you need to be careful if that can upset you. But again, 1700s in the Caribbean, it's one of those things you kind of have to expect, really. So that's it for everything I've been watching. I've been watching stuff since this list, but I kind of had to make a list for that period of time, so I'll have another one of these next month. Yeah, have you been watching any of the things I've been watching? Have you watched anything else that you want to tell me about that you think I'd enjoy? Yeah. Give me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to me, maybe hit the notification bell. I hate doing this. I don't know how to like self-promote myself like this. I can do it typing, but I can't do it in like speaking. Follow me on my socials at Smeared Eyes on Twitter, Goodreads and Instagram, as well as my blog, which is kirstyreadsblog.wordpress.com. Should be back for another video soon. Yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Bye! God, I can't stop burping.